So after the excitement of yesterday successfully running the engine and going for a tiny test drive, which was brilliant, we're back to the mundane and still so much to do. So I'm going to get on with the brakes. I've been putting this off for ages. I went to bed last night thinking, right, I'll get up in the morning and sort out the brakes. I got up in the morning and I did so much other stuff. Right, so yeah, I don't like messing about with brakes because it's horrible work. They're buried right inside the vehicle. It's just grim. Takes forever. You've got to adjust them when you're done. You've got to bleed it all through. I hate bleeding brakes. I'm going to get brake fluid all over me. And when you've done it all, you can't even see what you've done. Remember to take that out before you start hammering on the drum. And I'm going to try and hammer it off using the copper face mallet. It's less likely to break the cast iron drum. But before I do that, I'm going to slacken off the adjustment. So there's a nut on the back here, which will take a 17 or a 11/16 spanner, same thing, more or less. So with that on, you should be able to adjust it. So one way I'll tighten it out, now I can't move it now, and go all the way in the other direction. Right. So what I used to do was try and get screwdrivers in there and lever on the back plate, but it's not good practice really, because the back plate's much weaker than the drum. And you just end up distorting that. So you just keep tapping away all the way around. It will come off. This looks pretty mean in here. Let's see if we can zoom in. So these shoes on the leading edge here, so the edge that's nearest the cylinder, are really thin. They're too thin to go back together, even if they weren't contaminated with brake fluid, which they are. I don't think I'll bother reusing those. Right, before I do anything else, I'm going to go and scrub my hands clean and put some gloves on, which I should have done before getting involved with this. Yeah. Brake fluid's horrible stuff to get on your hands, as I'm sure you know. I'm sure everyone knows. Right, I'm going to go and wash my hands and then have a look, see if I've got any shoes in my spares department. Right, well, as luck would have it, I've got a whole set of shoes. I didn't even know I had these. I genuinely didn't. Even though this one looks okay, it's not great. So I'm going to replace it for two reasons. One is because it's the right thing to do. Also because access to this bit is much easier now because there's no wing on here. So obviously this is all seized up, because that's what it does. So I'm going to try using the blowtorch, which will probably get quite exciting because, well, I'll just say at this point, I have a fire extinguisher right next to me. wasn't much point brushing this before I started torching it because the bitumen was very soft then and it would just gum up the brush. But having toasted it good and proper, the chard remains brush off. Yeah. Right, the coupling on the end of the copper pipe is loosened off, which is exactly what I wanted. That's the most important bit. So that's great. Now it's just a matter of time to extract the end of that. But because that coupling's loose, it means I can install the new pipe properly. Yeah, without having to wind the pipe and all that crap. Right, so there's the top spring is hooked there, which you should be able to see. And then instead of it being hooked to this shoe, you should be able to see there, it's hooked to a peg. I'm just doing this because you may well see this wrong. This has been done wrong on other vehicles. So it should be on this peg here and not onto either of these holes. Drum brakes are one of those things that's possible to assemble wrongly and still have it function okay-ish. So that's the lights fitted. Obviously I've got to wire them in yet, and I need to make up some wiring because if you might remember from a previous video, I cut all the wiring out and threw it away to deny myself the temptation to use the crappy, slightly melty old stuff. On this Series 2A, the 1967 one, that's how the lights sit, and then they should have this chrome surround going over them, which I've only got one. The other is somewhere on the side of the road, somewhere in England, I guess. Doesn't look better with some lights in it.